everybody, and welcome to episode 15 of Kings Connected. My name is Dylan Baker. In our last episode, we got a chance to sit down and chat with Mike Riatti, the assistant coach for the Komoka Kings, who's returning for his third season with the organization. Mike spent the last two as an assistant under Ron Horvat, and now will spend his first as an assistant under Colin Martin, the new head coach of the Kings. And we talked to Colin in the episode just before Mike's, episode 13 of Kings Connected. All the prior episodes can be found on our YouTube channel. We've got a great little playlist set up for you. So if you missed something, go catch up on what you missed on our Kings Connected playlist on our YouTube channel. Today, we'll talk to goalie coach Dave MacDonald. Dave has been with the organization since the move to Komoka and was drafted in the 9th round of the NHL draft in 1995 by the New York Islanders. We're excited to talk to Dave about his goaltending experience and time coaching with the Kings. So without further ado, here he is. It's Dave MacDonald. I'm now joined by goalie coach Dave MacDonald. Dave, how are you today?
Good, thanks. How about yourself?
Not too bad. Getting things started. You spent the past 3 seasons as the goalie coach of the Kings. What has your time in the organization been like?
It's been fantastic. Everybody, we've gone through the coaches, staff, and that, and Roop. It's just been such a delight to work with these guys. They're always open, open door policy. If you ever have any questions, concerns, I think it's just a great organization, and I'm lucky to be part of it.
We're happy to hear that. The organization's lucky to have you. Now, after your playing career, was coaching something that you had always wanted to get into?
It's kind of a tough question because I did some coaching in some goalie schools back when I was playing. And once I was done, honestly, I kind of just fell away from the sport for a little while. And it wasn't until my wife actually one day bought tickets to a Knights game, and we sat right behind the net. And I kind of got that feeling again that, how much I missed it. Then I started working with the Chiefs hockey with goalies there, and then with Junior C with Lambeth, and then with Komoka. So now, had the itch to do it, and, I'm doing it. I absolutely love it.
That's awesome. Such a great story to get you back into hockey and coaching with the Kings. I know that the goalies that have worked with you are better for it. Now, you were drafted in the 9th round of the 1995 draft by the New York Islanders. What was that experience like?
That was pretty cool. I wasn't expecting to get drafted by New York. I never talked to them during the year. I talked to a few teams. If anybody, I thought I was going to Buffalo because they came to watch me play. They took me out to eat. They, sent me a bunch of questionnaires I had to fill out. So, that year I didn't actually go to the draft. My agent wasn't sure if I was going to get drafted or not. So he said, better to stay home just so, because if you go, you don't get drafted, because I've seen a lot of players just get upset. So basically I stayed at home, and, that night I actually kind of went with my sister. They had some kind of video dance party thing to get my mind off it. So, and I saw my parents walked in around like 9:30 and told me I was drafted to New York. So it was pretty cool. It was such a great time. They came down, watched me play. I got to meet the goalie coach, Bob Froze. We went out to eat quite a few times. So it was a great experience. It was absolutely wonderful.
That's awesome. Such a cool experience to be drafted by an NHL team. And it sounds like you had a great time with that organization. So that's great. Now, with Colin Martin being named the head coach this spring, how excited were you to return for the 2020-2021 campaign with the Kings?
Oh, very excited. I'm so happy for Colin, seeing him, progress over 2 years under Ron. Colin was pretty green when he came in, but, he's proven himself. And, for me, not being on the bench, I got to see Colin kind of grow, and how much, I think personally Ron has helped him, especially because Colin's a pretty passionate guy, and, he'll let the referees know. And it's kind of funny to watch back Ron let him have his time, and then all of a sudden, he would just reel Colin back in. So now that he's the man, now he's learned a lot of things, I think. And, when Roop told me, I was happy, and Roop said, it was just like before. He goes, I'm letting Colin pick all of his bench guys, all of his, so I was kind of worried because I think, Colin knows a lot of guys in hockey. So I figured, well, maybe I'm back, maybe I'm not, but I got the call from him, and he said he'd like to have me back. So I'm pretty pumped, and he told me what he expects out of me this year, and which is great. I don't know what he expected me coming in, so I can't wait to get to work with him this year.
We can't wait to watch the team on the ice next season. A lot of new faces, but a lot of returning guys as well, and we hope that perfect mix can lead to some good things down the road. Now, how do you feel the past 2 seasons spent with Colin and Mike Riatti will help you guys work closely together this year?
I think that's gonna be wonderful because we all know each other. We get along. We're not afraid to voice opinions. If I see something, I tell them. If they see something, they're not afraid to tell me. So it's good to have an open door policy with the guys like that, because that way everybody's on the same page. Everybody knows what's going on. And Colin's more of the the hockey guy, and Mike's the analytical side. He does all the stats. I don't know how he does it. It's insane, but he comes up with all these stats that are fantastic, and they help. And I think it's just going to be, it's going to be a great year. I can't wait to get this year going.
For sure. Of course, you mentioned it there. Mike's got a lot of different stats that he'll bring in, and that trust and knowledge of each other that you guys have should help you this season. Roop Chanardette, President GM, had the following to say: Dave is another important part of our staff. He brings firsthand experience and knowledge as the goalie coach. Dave is very competitive and understands his role, and our goaltenders are lucky to have him coaching and mentoring them. What are your thoughts on Roop's words?
That's wonderful. I mean, Roop's such a great guy. He's well respected in the area for owning the team and doing what he does for the majors. So I mean, words like that coming from him, they mean a lot. And I kind of want to live up to those words. I want him to keep thinking that highly of me, that I'm a part of this team, and going forward, that's it's such great words to hear from such a good guy.
Definitely, Roop, of course. You mentioned it there, well respected around the league and around the area for what he does with the Kings and the majors. He's a sports guy, and great that you guys have a good relationship. Now, Dave, you played in the OHL with the Sudbury Wolves and the Guelph Storm. Do you feel that knowing what it takes to get into the OHL helps you motivate and better teach your goalies?
I think it gives me a little bit of an edge, just because I know what the next level is like, what it's all about. And the phrase I always use is, the higher you get, the hotter the fire. And these guys coming in from midget or maybe even junior C, wherever they come from, wanting to go forward, that's where Ryan come in and give them some guidance, let them know what it's going to be like at the next level. And and I treat those guys like it's going to be the next level. So I mean, if I'm not going to baby somebody. If somebody's on a rough game, you talk to them. Like last year, poor Raul, his very first game with us, he didn't play because he drove like 14 hours or whatever it was. So he sat on the bench. Younger played a game at Strathroy. Younger didn't have a great first period. And I kind of went in and blasted him, between periods. And poor Raul sitting there, this is the first time he's ever met me. So I told him, that I don't do that often, but sometimes, the higher you're going to get, if you want to play the next level, you're going to get that, right? And that's just part of the game. We're here to win. We're here to make these kids better into better people on and off the ice. We want them to come in as kids, leave as gentlemen, and we also want to move these kids on to next levels. We want to know their goals. We want to get them there. So if it's OHL, if it's NCAA, whatever it is, I want especially with the goalies, that's why I work with. I want them to reach their goals. I want to try to help them as much as I possibly could.
For sure, and you got to teach them some things on the ice and off the ice, and you do a great job of it. You touched on it there. You want them to come in as kids and leave as gentlemen. That's a great sentence, and I'm sure it's the thinking for a lot of good coaches around the league. Now, having worked with several different goaltenders in your time with the Kings, how tough is it to learn these guys and try and grow their games?
It's not too bad, really, because a lot of the guys today have a similar style. There's a few tweaks here and there, but for the most part, I don't try to change a goalie's style. I mean, especially at this age, it's just too hard. So you kind of work with their style. There's some things that I like to see. I'm a guy who likes goalies who come on that challenge to shooters, make yourself, especially Raul, he's 6'5". If he's on top of his crease, you're not going to beat him. He's such a big dude. He carries a lot of net, and he's quick. So I like to see goalies do that kind of stuff. I'm not going to change their style. I'm going to work with it. I like doing lateral movements. I'm a big believer on getting to post as fast as you can. So there's a lot of stuff that guys a lot do in practice. A lot of lower body leg work to help speed the guys up.
For sure, and just adding those little techniques can help them grow their game immensely and can lead to great results on the ice. Coming into this year, how excited are you to work with Rahul Bola again and have Omar Hage join the team?
It's going to be great. Speaking for Raul, last year he came in here, played well for us. Pretty consistent guy. First and foremost, he's a great kid. I can't say enough about his attitude, about who he is as a person. He's fantastic. I'm looking forward to work with him again. He listens. He applies what I try to teach him, which is great. You can see in practice, you see at games, which is wonderful. That means he's doing what I'm trying to help him with. And with Omar, last year I saw him in exhibition games. I saw him a couple of times with his team, and he almost made it last year. He was that good. But I think year seasoning for him down in midget really helped his game. He had strong numbers. He played fantastic. So I'm looking forward to work with him too. He's not quite a big guy, so I kind of got got a bit of both here. I got a guy who's big, guys not so big, but Omar's hungry. I've been talking to him, talking to his dad. He's ready to play. He wants to come in. So you got two guys that want to play, which is great. Now they're going to push each other to be better.
Definitely, and of course you talked about it there. Rahul, a good kid, and he's a good guy, very nice, calm person to talk to. And Omar, you could tell in the interview that we had with him, it was episode 4, one of the earlier episodes of Kings Connect, that he was competitive. He wanted to be with the Kings. He wanted to take that next step, and we're excited to watch both of them play in the crease this year. What are some of the memories that you can take away from the past few seasons with the Kings, and what do you feel you can look forward to in this upcoming season?
Some of the memories, obviously. In the playoffs a couple years ago when we beat Chatham in 5 games. That was fantastic. Just being in the room at that 5th game when, they gave Ronnie the puck. I never seen a guy so excited in my entire life when we beat Chatham was Ron. And that was just a fantastic moment that, the boys came together and, that series against Leamington, we're up 3-1. We couldn't put the nail in the coffin, but I mean, Leamington, those last 3 games, I never seen a team play as desperate as they did. I mean, they did not make one mistake. You got to give them the credit. They play scared, but you can tell the next series against London, Leamington had nothing. They used it all on us just to beat us. So, I mean, that was a very special year with a good group of kids. So, and this year, I'm just looking forward to seeing what we got on the ice and, with all of the new guys coming in, see how hungry they're going to be and what they're going to be learning from Colin. And, definitely we don't want to just make the playoffs. We want to win it all. That's the goal coming into this year is, it's not good enough just to make it. We want to be the team. So I'm kind of looking forward to whenever we are getting on the ice and getting the season going.
For sure. And do you have any goals set for yourself or the team this year?
For me, I'm going to try to do a little more video with the goalies. I'm going to bring my tablet to games. I'm going to try to focus in on some things on the guys. And hopefully I can kind of, do a little video session with the goalies and teach them some stuff that way they can see themselves, especially kind of up close. So I stand more to the ice so they get to see themselves up close and things that they're doing right, things they're doing wrong. And, just for the team this year is just, like I said before, we want to win that championship. So, that's what we're calling Mike and, we're going to run the bench and, get the most out of the guys. So, like I said, I think it's going to be a pretty exciting season. And I think we're going to be very competitive.
We're looking forward to seeing how the video helps the goalies and watching the team play their first game, whenever that may be. Thanks for joining me today, Dave.
Thank you very much.
That was goalie coach Dave MacDonald, who's returning for his 4th season with the Kings. And Dave talked about how he feels he can work closely with Colin Martin and Mike Riatti to help build a strong team next year. And he talked about how excited he is to work with Rahul Bola and Omar Hage next season. Rahul, of course, came over last year, mid-season in a deal with the Hearst Lumberjacks, and he can only grow from his solid performance last season. He touched on how he wants to use video a little bit more in-game to help goalies out, to help his goalies out, and to help their games grow from the development perspective. Video is a great tool to see how goalies can make adjustments in-game, and we're excited to watch how that plays out. We're looking forward to the season, as I constantly mention before the end of every show. We're excited to watch this Kings team hit the ice. There's a nice blend of returning and new guys, and we're looking forward to seeing hockey again whenever that may be. We thank you all very much for joining us today in episode 15 of Kings Connect. And thank you again to Dave MacDonald for joining the show. We'll be back on Thursday with Ray Giffen, the Assistant General Manager of the Komoka Kings.